Hey, welcome into the week 6 pick'em, man. We are officially at the halfway point. It's gone by fast.
It always does. That's crazy, but yep, it always does.
Ton of games this week, man. Some very important games. I was telling Bent before we came on that I don't know if you guys are in our pick'em, but I filled out my form today, and this is probably the first week where I felt like I'm gonna go 0-10. The games are hard to call this week, man. Some tough ones.
There are some tough ones, but there's some straightforward ones. There's a mixture. There's a good mixture of everything. Yep, good mixture. Hey, before we jump in, we'll say thank you again to Al Smith, Alpha Insurance. He's our sponsor, basically sole sponsor for all of our programs. This is like what the third or fourth year. I can't remember. He's been with us for a little while now, but I appreciate Al and all that he does. Go see him. 706-529-6786.
Yeah, I was a big supporter of high school sports all over Northwest Georgia, man. I see Al Smith all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. He really does a lot for not even not just his local area, but all of Northwest Georgia. I've seen it. I've seen it a little bit everywhere. So it's awesome. All right. Well, we'll jump in and get her started.
All right, man. Right off the bat, North Cobb at North Paulding. North Cobb is a 3-point favorite. The region opener for North Cobb and North Paulding.
Yeah, region opener. 3 points on the road. That to me, that I don't know if you figured it in, but if you haven't, that probably tells me that they're thinking they're about a 6 point favorite if it's just three on the road. But I'll be honest with you, I like North Paulding. I think North Paulding at home. North Paulding's been playing well. I'm going to go with North Paulding. I'm going to go with the Wolfpack, and
Yeah,
I don't think it's my upset special. I think this is a if you would have not gave me a line, I think I'd have picked North Paulding. So
yeah. I know. North Paulding was the number 6 ranked 6A team coming into the season, man. A young team. Teddy Jarrett, the North Cobb Christian transfer back there at quarterback, getting his feet under him. But yeah, I like North Paulding in that offense, man. They can put up some points, balanced. I'm gonna go with the Wolfpack at home. Parker, Alabama. I was looking at HS ratings, and they're the number 7th overall team in Alabama, coming to Carrollton. Carrollton, a 32-point favorite.
the number seven overall team in Alabama, and Carrollton is a 32 point favorite. If that if that isn't a telling symbol right there, I don't know what is. I like Carrollton. Uh, I'm not real certain how good Parker, Alabama is, but I'm going to say Carrollton wins pretty easy. But 32 is a bit much. I'm going to say 28.
Yeah, I was really impressed, man. What Carrollton did last week over in Gainesville, man. Tough Gainesville Elephant team. I got to ride with the Trojans here. I think they're going to put it close to that 32. I wouldn't be surprised. Paulding County, man, coming off a win last week against South Cobb, I believe. Going to McEachern, 35-point underdogs.
It was a big win last week for Paulding County. Um, this is going to be a pretty good McEachern team that they're facing, and I think McEachern wins this one at home fairly easy.
Yeah, I agree. A tough place to play on the road. I'm going with McEachern. The closest predicted game of the weekend right here. It should be a good one. Villa Rica at South Paulding. South Paulding is a 1-point favorite.
I remember 2 years ago, I think I picked South Paulding in like every game of the year or something like that. But and I feel like maybe three-quarters of the time it bit me. I'm going to go with the Wildcats. I like Villarica going and getting a 1 point upset in this one.
Yeah, this is our what Region 5A. A big game here, man. I think both these teams have a shot if they win to get one of those 4 playoff spots. I got to go South Paulding at home, man. Big offensive and defensive line. I know Villarica's playing well. A lot of athletes there, but yeah, I'm gonna go with South Paulding. East Paulding at New Manchester. Here's an interesting fact, man. New Manchester is the number 2 scoring team in the state.
Number 2 scoring team in the state. Any idea who New Manchester's coach is? Because that name, New Manchester, that just rings the bell. I was talking to a guy the other day in the Mexican place, and I'm almost certain he said that somebody in his family was coaching at New Manchester. Let me look right quick.
But yeah, East Paulding is a 5-point favorite on the road at New Manchester. Huge game in that Region 5 5A. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say whoever wins this game gets that 2 seed in 5 5A. At least the 2 seed.
At least the 2 seed. I like it. New Manchester sitting there at 3-0. East Paulding at 2-2. You don't really. It's a tough game, and this is one of those. Even though New Manchester has been scoring I think close to 60 points a game, 57 points something. That's a heck of a lot of points. I don't know. I kind of want to go with the Raiders. What do you think? While I'm thinking on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with East Paulding, and I think East Paulding has played a tougher schedule so far. They've had North Paulding on their schedule, Rome, battle some tough teams. From what I hear, New Manchester's opponents haven't been that strong. I mean, that still doesn't mean they're any good. I mean, they're putting up tons of points. But I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
All right. Just looking here, what you said about New Manchester. Max Prep has their East Paulding strength of schedule at 27.2, which that's pretty high. And New Manchester, let's see here. I just had it up. -10. So give me East Paulding, even though they have 2 losses. I'll take Paulding County School here.
Yeah, and the other 5 5A matchup in our area, Alexander coming to Barron Stadium, man. Rome is a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, Rome has their 27th home game of the year. It feels like Rome is at home every week. I mean, it's got to switch eventually, right? They're going to be on the road for a couple of weeks, but Rome big here. I don't think Alexander's got nothing for the Wolves.
Yeah, I know Alexander had a big win earlier this year against Cedartown. And from what I understand from last week at East Paulding, man, Rome still hasn't put together a 4-quarter game. This might be the week for them, man. I mean, I think they win. I think they cover the 35.
I think it might be a 3-quarter game for the starters.
Mount Zion Jonesboro, 35-point favorite on the road at Southeast Whitfield.
Yeah, Southeast got a win a couple weeks ago and, got some positive momentum. I think this Mount Zion team out of Jonesboro that's coming in here to Southeast, I think that they're going to be a pretty good squad. They're going to have enough to beat Southeast, probably by a few touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Mount Zion Jonesboro. Region opener for Central, hosting Monday's Meal. Central is a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Central pretty big here. I think Central's got a few too many athletes, just getting it done right now. I mean, Central's one of those teams. I'm really interested to see what kind of run they're going to make in this division here.
Yeah, I got to looking at it this morning, man. The Lions, they beat Heard County pretty handily in the preseason, man. And we saw what Heard did to Bowden last week. Heard top 5 team in Class A. I think the Lions are for real, man. They're playing good defense. We know what kind of offense they have. I'm going with the Lions big here.
All right.
This is an interesting game. Probably the most interesting game on the schedule for me personally. Alatoona at Dalton. Alatoona is 11-point favorite.
Yeah, I think I read something where Dalton's quarterback is on pace to throw for like 3,500 yards or something this year. I mean, they're slinging it, and they're not afraid to sling it a lot. and they got some athletes that are going to get it, and they're taking it down the field. I think 11's too much here, man. At Dalton, Altoona does have a pretty good back and some other guys to go with it, but I almost want to pick the upset here. I'm going to go Altoona. I don't know. I don't think Altoona is going to score with them as much. Let me go Dalton. Give me Dalton and give me some ridiculous score, 40-something to 40. I'll take Dalton.
Yeah, you just get the feeling, man. At some point, Dalton's going to figure a way to keep their defense off the field. They did it a little bit last week at Cartersville. They held the ball for the first quarter, kept the Hurricanes off the field, took a 7-0 lead. Man, but they got to find a way to stop the opponents. I don't know if they can do it against Altoona. They sure as heck can score with them. But I'm gonna go Altoona by less than 11.
I like it. I couldn't go against that.
Battle of Bartow County, man. Woodlands at Cartersville. Cartersville 35-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Cartersville. I mean, we've seen they're the class around here. They're one of the top teams in Northwest Georgia, especially in our coverage area. I think Cartersville rolls in this one.
Yeah, a very young Woodland Wildcat team. I think 2026 may be their year. Yeah, I like Cartersville here. Cedartown at Cass. Cass is a 31-point favorite. This is the game that our viewers on Twitter voted as the most likely upset of the week.
As a 31-point favorite, I think that's too much. I think Cass is the better team. It's at Cass. I think Cass wins it, but 31 is too much.
Yeah, Cass had that big upset 2 weeks ago over North Cobb, man, which kind of surprised everybody. But then they came out last Friday night and battled Hiram down to the wire. I like Cass here, but I think it's going to be closer than 31. Dawson County at Pickens. Pickens undefeated on the year. 23-point favorites as they host J-Bo Shaw.
Yeah, I like Pickens. I'm going to roll with Pickens. Looking down their schedule, you might not see me pick against Pickens until we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, Pickens looks like the real deal, man. I wasn't quite sure to begin with, but I mean, they just keep getting it done week after week. And yeah, I like the Dragons in this one. Ridgeland at Heritage. Interesting game here. Heritage 35-point favorite.
Yeah, this is another one of those games. I mean, no offense to Heritage, but I just don't think the numbers have adjusted yet for how good Ridgeland has been recently. I think camera just went flying. I think that Ridgeland, and there it goes again. Okay. Sorry. Technology. I think Ridgeland has been much better. The quarterback has been deadly with his feet and through the air. I think I'm gonna put it out there. Ridgeland is going to keep it closer. Heritage is not going to win by 35. I would be surprised if it's not within 14 or 17. I think Ridgeland will play with them. You're going to look up in the third quarter. It'll be a 1 or 2 score game. No way, 35. Not a chance.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people text me this week on Facebook and Twitter and tell me this is going to be the upset of the year right here.
It would be if they pulled it. It would be.
35.5-point underdogs. They think Ridgeland's got the athletes to compete with them. I think it's going to be close. I have to agree with you. It's going to be much closer than 35, but Heritage just has too many athletes. Caden Height, quarterback there, he's thrown for over 900 yards. Slaughter, I mean, he can run the ball. And it's at home. I'm going to go Heritage. Lumpkin County, 1-point favorite at Chastity.
If I had a quarter, I'd flip it. And I do have a quarter. Here we go. Tails never fails. All right, I'm going to go. And in this close of a game, I'm going to go with Chastity. I'm going to go with the home team. And I'll probably be wrong, but that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I like what Lumpkin County and Nolan Matthews have been doing the last few weeks. Battled GAC to the wire last Friday. lost in a heartbreaker. I'm gonna go with Lumpkin on the road. I think it's gonna be close. Uh, Northwest Whitfield. This is what 7-3A openers for all these teams.
Yep.
Um, Northwest Whitfield on the road at Gilmer. Gilmer is a 10-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, this Gilmer squad, 3-1. They both got the same record. You know, Gilmer surprised me. I picked against them last week against Westminster, and they doubled them up 28-14. Looking at, you know, who they've played and the results that I've seen, Northwest is capable of putting a lot of points on the board. And I think if this game becomes a shootout, I would favor Northwest. If this game is under 28 or under 21, I might favor Gilmer, but you know, Gilmer's put up 40 a couple times. Oh man, tough one. I'm going to go with Northwest, and I'm going to say they get enough points to outlast Gilmer in this one. Close one.
Yeah, you know, enough can't be said about the great job Paul Standard's done since he's been at Gilmer, man. Great defensive team. The offense is tricky to game plan for. But I just think Northwest Whitfield has too many weapons on offense, man. I'm going with the Bruins as my upset pick of the week on the road at Gilmer.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
And a name to remember for Northwest Whitfield is Kyle Cummings, man. I've seen him over the last few weeks. I know a couple of weeks ago he had a receiving touchdown, forced a fumble, returned a punt. And I just saw in Georgia High School Football Daily today, he returned 3 punts for touchdowns against Southeast Whitfield on Friday.
Dang.
Adairsville at the favorite here, Lafayette. First time they've been favored all year, 9 points at home.
Deserving to be the favorite. I'm telling you right now, our guy Paul Cavan said it on air when they went to Trine and got the upset win. He said that's one of the loudest and largest crowds over there on that visiting side, and just wait. You know, they're fired up about the Ramblers. They're having parades. They're, you know, on the sides of the street when the buses come back into town. I mean, they're fired up. I mean, they're due. I mean, they haven't, you know, seen this in a little bit here at Lafayette, and give credit to the coaching staff and the players at Lafayette. I think Lafayette gets this one done. I think they go, they come out at home, they hit Adairsville on the mountain. I think they cover this right here.
Yeah, I think Lafayette has a good style to win this game. Great ball control. They didn't make any mistakes against Trine, didn't turn the ball over. I like Lafayette in this one, but I think it's going to be closer than 9. I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out game. I mean, which you kind of pretty much expect from Lafayette for the rest of the year.
But that's exactly what they want.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Ramblers.
Those Ramblers.
Those Ramblers. Ringo, man, running the gauntlet here. You know, they've had a heck of a 3-week stretch. Rock Mart, North Cobb Christian, now they get to go to LFO. 13-point favorites.
You know, LFO throwing some points up on the board too. I mean, you know, this probably is one of their more talented teams. You know, last year they were up and coming, and this year they still got some good talent there. And you know, I think Ringo is going to be enough. I mean, it's not a long trip; it's right down the road. So, you know, it'll probably take you longer to get in the parking lot than it will to drive down the interstate. So, I'll take Ringo probably by around the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know LFO, man. They had that heartbreaking loss to North Murray a few weeks ago, last-second field goal. I know they want this one bad, but Tigers are playing good, man. Hayden Fry's tearing it up. I think he had over 200 yards Friday night, 10 tackles on defense, forcing fumbles. The kid is playing like a senior for sure, you know.
Yeah.
Sonoraville, undefeated in the region, looking to stay that way. 26-point favorites at Murray County.
Yeah, I think Sonoraville, they've had a few wins, kind of eye-opening wins, a couple that I didn't expect. I seen them in the preseason, and they're continuing to improve. I think Snorville wins this one going away.
Yeah, they have a pretty balanced offense too. With Chaz Pate back there. What Jaden Cruz is that his name
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
backfield? Yeah.
he can fly.
I think they get it done at Murray County. I don't think they have any kind of letdown. Union County at North Murray. North Murray, a 23-point favorite.
I like North Murray in this. I think that it's going to be hard to stop that North Murray offense. I think Union's going to hang around, but North Murray wins probably a little less than 23. I think 23 is a good bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough to tough to stop Hudson Hewlett, man, for 4 quarters in that North Murray offense. I like North Murray. Mount Zion looking to stay undefeated, man. The number one scoring defense in our area. I think they're only giving up like 19 points in 5 games. This might be their toughest test of the year, though, at Pike County. Mount Zion is a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Mount Zion has a good squad. They got big receiver on the outside. They got a guy that's quick that can move the ball on the ground. The quarterback is very capable of getting the ball out to the guys out wide. Defense has been playing pretty good. The only thing I see is strength of schedule minus 24.9. And this Pike County team is going to come in a little bit higher than that, seeing better competition. I still think Mount Zion is probably going to squeak it out. I'm going to give Mount Zion a win in a close one.
Yeah, I think Mount Zion gets it done enough on defense, man. I think they hold Pike County to 14 or less and squeak it out. Here's Jake, man. Jake chiming in about the Carrollton spread. He knows he's late to the party, but Carrollton being a 32-point favorite against the reigning 6A state champions is a big, big reach. How much did Carrollton beat about last year, though? Curious.
I'll pull it up.
Coahulla Creek, continuing on with 7-2A. Coahulla Creek at Rockmart. Rockmart, a 35-point favorite. And I saw.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to give you a chance while you looked it up.
Yeah.
I saw this week, man. Tucker Parsons, freshman quarterback down there at Rockmart, set the single game passing record at Rockmart as a freshman last week. Threw for 328 against Union County. Yeah, I mean, you have to go with the Jackets here at home.
328 is a lot for a high school kid. That's really good. From what I'm looking at, they did not play Parker last year. I do not see them on. Oh, that's 23. Excuse me.
Jake chimed in. 22.
Yep, 48-26.
22 at Parker. I'm sure it was there last year. If they're home at Carrollton this year,
it was at Parker. That's correct. Going back to this Rockmart game, I think Rockmart is obviously they've got the pass game going. They're throwing for over 300. And I think at any time they can line up and bully you with the big back. And, I just don't know if the Creek has anybody they're going to be able to run out there to stop that. So I think Rockmart wins this one fairly easily.
Here's the biggest game of the week, man. This is has to be the game of the week around here. A lot of people think this might be the 7A Division I region title. Christian Heritage at Gordon Lee. Gordon Lee is 11-point favorite.
Very interesting. Just to go to your comments, I think the guys up at Fannin are going to have some say in this. But, Christian Heritage, we've talked about the quarterback all year long. They went to Dade County and picked up a win last week, holding Dade down pretty good. Gordon Lee, obviously, we've seen they're capable. They'll run the big back. They'll run the quick back. They can throw it at times. Playing in lower scoring games, it seems like. I figured Gordon Lee would be out, in a track meet. But I think they're still capable. And Yeah, I went back and forth on this one. I kind of want to pick Christian Heritage for some reason, but at Gordon Lee, um, I think Gordon Lee is just good enough to get this win, and as long as they can do what they're supposed to do the rest of the way, this could be for the region title. So I'm going to go with Gordon Lee in a close one. I think closer than 11.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling, man, we really haven't gotten a good gauge on Gordon Lee so far this year. I think they've had a couple of buys early in the year, and then they had an unexpected buy last Friday night. So, I mean, we
Yeah,
really haven't seen them play on a consistent basis yet. Um, I know one thing, they're going to have to get after that freshman quarterback at Christian Heritage. He kind of reminds me of the Rockmart kid. You know how we saw the Rockmart kid at Bremen,
yeah.
and he looked okay, but he's gotten better
Gradually
week after week.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Charlie Baxter at Christian Heritage the same way. Passed for over 300 yards last week at Dade. I think Gordon Lee has enough athletes on defense, tough to get it done. I like Gordon Lee, and I think it's going to be closer than 11. Haralson County, if you told me preseason that they would be the favorite at Darlington, I'd have thought you were lying. But Haralson County, a 6-point favorite.
I'm gonna take Haralson County in this game. I'm at this point. I'm a believer. I think Haralson wins in a close one over Darlington.
Yeah, I think it's a battle of defense versus defense. You got Darlington defense that's given up a ton of points, and you got Haralson County defense that's been stingy. Can Darlington stop Haralson? That's going to be the key. I like Haralson County here to get a win to open up the 6A D1 region. Little Thursday night football action. Bremen on the road at Model. Bremen is a 16-point favorite.
Model's battled a bunch this year. They've been battle tested. I've seen them against Trine, a couple of other places, but I like Bremen at this one. It's sometimes tricky to go to Model and get a win, but I think Bremen's good enough. But I don't. 16's a little high. Maybe a 10 or 7 or 10.
Yeah, I could see this game being one of those 21-14, 24-7 kind of games. I like Bremen on the road here.
Sorry, I'm failing at my job.
The other 6A Division I region opener, Pepperell, man, on the road at Temple. Temple is a 16-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Pepperell's one of those teams that's going to battle. You're not going to get anything easy. But I like this Temple offense. I like the running back. I like their ability to move the ball down the field. At Temple, the crowd's been pretty good. They'll have the music turned up loud. I like Temple to win this one by a couple scores.
Yeah, I know everybody's been talking about Hurd and Bremen in that 6A D1, man, but I like Temple. Physical, got a good speed, good coaching. I like Temple here. Jeff Poston and the Dade County Wolverines hopping on the buses and heading over to Blue Ridge. Fannin is a 30-point favorite.
Yeah, Fannin keeps getting better. They've got some talent over there in Blue Ridge. This is probably the longest trip that we will see from any of our Northwest Georgia teams during the regular season. One of the longest trips. There may be some go to South Georgia. But, Fannin, I think, is a couple touchdowns better. 30, I'm not sure. I think we'll see Fannin win by, 20 or something like that, 17.
Yeah, I was real surprised last week when I looked at the halftime scores and Fannin had jumped out to a 35-0 lead on Coosa. Like I said, Coach Cheatham had a week off to get those boys ready. I like Fannin in this one, man. I think Fannin is going to be a key factor in this 7A D1 region down the stretch. Gordon Central looking to stay undefeated on the road at Coosa. Gordon Central is a 7-point favorite.
Yeah, I seen Gordon Central last week. Played a pretty good game. Had a pick six. Had some couple long runs that busted out. One right before the half, which was kind of a backbreaker there to Chattooga. And, I think Gordon Central's pretty good. I really thought Coosa was going to be one of those teams that could throw the ball around. The quarterback was going to extend plays, get first downs with his feet. And he, early on, I thought he had a couple receivers that could really go. Hadn't seen it as much, especially last week. Fannin, kind of shut him down as you mentioned. This is probably crazy in saying this, but it is at home. I think Coosa is desperate for a win here. I think Coosa is going to find a way to pull it out through the air or however they need to. And I think Coosa is going to win this one, and it's going to be a very close. I think it's going to be less than 7, and I think Coosa wins on something like a 2-point conversion or a missed PAT or something like that.
Yeah, I think this is a very important game in 7A D1. You're battling for one of those 4 automatic playoff spots, so you don't have to rely on the power rankings. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say whoever wins this game probably gets one of those 4 spots. I like Gordon Central here. They had the momentum, play really good defense. Got a back that can get you some yards. I'm going to go Gordon Central, and it's going to be right there at that 7, maybe 14-7, 21-14. It's going to be pretty much same way they won last week. Shout out to all our Raven County fans, man. I see we threw a Raven County one in here. We have a lot of people asking about Raven County every week. So, hey, this is a bonus. Raven County, 35-point favorite over Banks County.
Yeah, we might have threw it in the wrong week. I think Raven's going to light the scoreboard up there in Tiger, Georgia.
Yeah, I was impressed with what they did last week at Bremen. The defense holding Bremen at 3 points?
Yeah.
Raven. Sure. Chattooga, the Red Indians at Armurchie, the Blue Indians. Chattooga, 6-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll go down there. I haven't checked out the new turf and all that down there at Armurchie. I'm excited to go see that. I know they're proud of that. If I'm not mistaken, the only team left in that region that doesn't have turf is Magic Morgan. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it.
And I'm not sure if they're even interested in it.
Well, I don't know. I see posting on Twitter every once in a while trying to talk Elon Musk into donating some money so they get some turf. Oh
yeah, I figure him and Elon's on first name basis. It's if you like cutting the grass, I like natural just as good as I like the others. Chattooga, did a few things different last week. Even though they lost, I think it was 21-14. I feel like offensively they had their best game of the year. Kind of moving in the right direction, get behind the line, and getting north and south. And I think they're going to take another step here this week. And I think Chattooga's going to cover the 6 at Armurchie. I think they're just going to ground and pound and run the clock. And I think you might see like 21-7 or, the opposite of last week. I think Chattooga can score a couple touchdowns here and be physical and get in the end zone.
Yeah, I think this is a big test for Chattooga for sure. They definitely – on paper, had the size advantage up front against Armurchie. If Chattooga is going to break out that scoring slump, this is the week to do it. We'll know a lot more after Friday night for sure. But I think Chattooga wins this one. I think they win by more than 6. White County at North Hall. North Hall is a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, I think this is pretty simple here. I think North Hall's got a good team. They're going to win this one fairly easily.
Yeah, I think North Hall gets this one, man. I'm looking forward down the road to North Hall, Pickens, Lumpkin all playing each other, trying to hash out that region. All right, guys, that concludes week 6 pick'em, man. I'm sure we got every game right, 100%.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Everybody get out and watch a game this Friday night, man. It's supposed to feel like summertime instead of spring, winter time. I think it's supposed to be 90 degrees Friday night.
Man, we can't get that 72 back.
No, Maybe by playoff time we'll get some autumn weather in here, wet weather in here. Some football weather.
Maybe we'll have all 55 teams in the playoffs somehow.
Yeah. It's funny how quick it changes. It's 90 degrees now, and I guarantee you by playoff time, man, we'll be out there in long sleeves and everybody huddling around the heater.
Yeah, have the little hand warmers on.
Hand warmers. It's crazy. All right, man. We'll see everybody back here Friday night.
We here at Northwest Georgia Football would like to thank you for watching. Please join us again soon.